A wise man changes his mind, a fool never will. This quote really resonates with me. It's a reminder that there's no shame in adjusting your viewpoint when you're presented with solid new information. In fact, it might just be one of the smartest things you can do. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode on my channel. My name is Celeste, and I am your host and certified life coach. Welcome to today's audio version of the podcast. As I have said before, I am very new to the whole sitting in front of a camera thing, and sometimes when I'm researching for an episode, I realize that it would really be better if I could sit and focus on the information and the topic at hand without having a camera in my face. And as I researched and prepared for today's episode, I realized this is one of those cases. Today is a slightly heavy topic and one I certainly can't cover in depth in a single episode. But today I want to dive into the topic that I believe is incredibly important for anyone on a journey of self growth, goal setting, or even if you're just trying to understand the world around you a little bit better. It's the concept of doing your own research and being open to changing your mind when you encounter new information. This is especially relevant in today's world where information is everywhere and it's easy to get caught up in only hearing what we already believe in. Let me start by saying I'm not really the kind of person who likes to talk about politics or jump into political debates on X or the internet, but I do believe in being informed about current affairs and events. So every day I make it a point to listen to political and current affairs commentary, sometimes through podcasts, other times through YouTube videos, and I make sure to listen to voices from different sides of the political spectrum. Yes, I'll hear out opinions from both the left and the right. And believe me, there are times when it doesn't matter which side I'm listening to, but I just want to scream at the host because what they're saying seems so wrong to me. But you know what? It challenges me. It forces me to step out of my own bubble and see things from a perspective that's different from mine. And no, I don't change my beliefs after hearing these different viewpoints, but it does make me pause and think, why do they see it that way? What are they seeing that I might be missing? And in that process, I'm learning, I'm refining my own views and sometimes even strengthening them because I've really tested them against other ideas. It's a bit like going to the gym, not for your body, but for your mind. There is no shame in adjusting your viewpoint when you're presented with solid new information. As I said, it's one of the smarter things you can do. Now, being open minded is often misunderstood. Kendra Cherry, a psychosocial rehabilitation specialist and psychology educator, discussed in an article published in Very Well Mind in March 2023 that open mindedness isn't just about being tolerant or accepting other people's beliefs without question. It's really about being willing to consider new perspectives and to challenge your own ideas. This mindset is crucial for thinking critically and making well-informed decisions. Being open-minded means you're willing to ask yourself tough questions and take a good hard look at evidence, even if it contradicts what you think you already know. But let's be real, being open-minded isn't easy. Kendra Cherry also pointed out in the same article that being open to new ideas can sometimes lead to discomfort or what's called cognitive dissonance. That's the tension we feel when new information challenges what we already believe. It's that moment where you think, wait, this doesn't match up with what I thought was true. And it's natural to feel like rejecting that new information because it doesn't fit. If you're willing to sit with that discomfort, you might learn something new or even realize when it's time to update an outdated belief. And here's the thing, staying open-minded is a choice. It's about pushing yourself to see the world from different angles. You don't have to agree with every new perspective you hear. It's not about abandoning your values or beliefs. It's about being willing to hear others out and consider their experiences, even when you don't agree with them. Kendra Cherry also emphasizes that open-mindedness allows us to see all sides of a problem, making us better problem solvers. It's a reminder that in an increasingly polarized world, being able to step outside your comfort zone is more important than ever. On the other side of being open-minded would be a situation such as being in what would be called an echo chamber. Those situations where we only surround ourselves with people and information that reinforce what we already believe. I found a GCF Global Media Literacy tutorial online that I will link below. There's a lot of really interesting information on this topic in there. And they described an echo chamber as an environment where a person only encounters information or opinions that reflect and reinforce their own. This creates misinformation and distorts a person's perspective, making it difficult to consider opposing viewpoints and discuss complicated topics. Echo chambers are fueled by confirmation bias, which is the tendency to favor information that reinforces existing beliefs. Now, we briefly discussed cognitive dissonance, which occurs when you have the discomfort of new information that doesn't match what you know. So cognitive dissonance occurs when you're allowing yourself to be exposed to different viewpoints and you're experiencing that discomfort of having your beliefs challenged. And on the other side is confirmation bias, where we're sitting comfortably happy not having our viewpoints being challenged. And in today's digital age, echo chambers can happen anywhere information is exchanged, but they are particularly prevalent online. On the internet, almost anyone can quickly find like-minded people and perspectives through social media and news sources, making echo chambers far more numerous and easy to fall into. There's also a unique type of echo chamber known as a filter bubble, and this was something I had never heard of before. A filter bubble is created by algorithms that track your online behavior and show you content that aligns with your previous interests. This can prevent you from encountering new ideas and perspectives, trapping you in a cycle of sameness. It's honestly quite scary to think that these algorithms designed to enhance our online experiences can instead actually isolate us from diverse viewpoints and limit our understanding of the world. Unfortunately, looking ahead, the landscape of misinformation is likely to become even more complex with advancements in technology. Tools like deepfakes, hyper-realistic AI-generated videos pose new challenges for verifying what is real. And this is a big enough concern that the President of the United States raised this issue of AI and deepfakes in his UN General Assembly speech. Tech companies are exploring solutions, but ultimately the responsibility lies with us as consumers of information. As the issue of AI and deepfakes and AI-generated images grows online, we as the consumers of this information need to learn to take a moment and just corroborate and confirm what we're seeing before we take it as being fact. Take a moment to look for reliable sources to confirm the information you're seeing before you take it as fact. Even something as simple as a reverse Google image search, which is something that I absolutely love doing when I'm feeling uncertain about something, is where you can actually put an image into Google and it will find where that information or where that image has come from. This can be incredibly useful to try and confirm, is this image actually from a reliable source or not? Back to the topic of echo chambers. Recognizing an echo chamber can be tricky, especially if you found yourself in one. If you ever find yourself wondering if a social group or website may be an echo chamber, consider a few questions. 1. Do they tend to give only one perspective on an issue? 2. Is that viewpoint mainly supported by rumor or incomplete evidence? 3. Are facts ignored whenever they go against that viewpoint? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may have found yourself an echo chamber. So, what is the opposite of being open-minded? It would be being closed-minded or dogmatic, essentially shutting yourself off to any perspective other than your own. Now, just because you found yourself in an echo chamber doesn't mean you are a closed-minded individual. You need to recognize the situation you found yourself in, embrace and deal with the cognitive dissonance that comes with challenging the situation you found yourself in. Being closed-minded can limit your ability to empathize with others and keep you from seeing the bigger picture of what is going on in the world around you. It's like putting on blinders and refusing to look around even when the world around you is changing. But here's one of the most interesting things about open-mindedness for me. It doesn't just help you understand others better, it can actually make you stronger and more optimistic. When you challenge your own ideas and embrace new experiences, you're more likely to find new solutions to problems and keep a fresh perspective on life. You're building resilience because you're not stuck in the same mental patterns. Instead, you're willing to adapt, which is incredibly valuable when it comes to achieving your goals. When you set a goal, whether it's personal, professional, or something else, you're bound to come across new information or new challenges along the way. Maybe your approach isn't working like you thought it would. Maybe you learn about a new strategy that could get you there faster. If you're stuck in a mindset of, this is how I've always done it, you're not going to adapt and you might miss out on opportunities for growth. Being open to change allows you to pivot when you need to. It means you're constantly refining your strategy based on what's working and what's not. And that's the essence of growth, isn't it? You don't want to stay static. You want to keep pushing forward, evolving, and getting better. And sometimes that means admitting that you don't have all the answers, but you're willing to look for them. So as you go about your week, my challenge to you is to be a little more open-minded. Seek out that opposing viewpoint. Ask yourself those hard questions. Sit with the discomfort of cognitive dissonance when it shows up. And remember, you're not giving up your beliefs. You're making sure they're built on solid ground. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope that this episode has given you some food for thought and that you really will take the time to listen to perspectives that may differ from you and don't get discouraged by the cognitive dissonance that comes from it. That might just be the start of a seed taking root and some personal growth happening. As always, keep pushing forward, keep challenging yourself, and I will see you all next week.